Good evening. Welcome to Dan United, Manchester United fans, joined again by Kev United. Hope everyone is well. Plenty of stuff to go through tonight. I was just checking, Kev, that my volume wasn't coming through, and for once it wasn't. I've actually done something right for once. Plenty to talk about tonight, and plenty of, do you know what? I love a conspiracy, and this one involves Joshua Zirkzee. So before I start, how are you doing, Kev?
Talk about the moon then, Dan, for a minute. I thought you were going to start talking about the moon.
Or Atlas 3i?
Yes, 3i Atlas, yeah, absolutely.
How you doing, mate?
Yes, fine. Don't tell anyone I've been sleeping since 4:45. We'll keep that a secret.
When some of us have been working, I've been and got weighed, mate, in that time. But I hope you're well. I hope everyone's well.
All good, yeah, all good.
Plenty of things. So, look, I mean, it's been no surprise, and it will come as no surprise to a lot of people. And the first person that jumps straight in there is Wahaha Zirkzee and Amorim out. It will come as no surprise, this, though. The guy's not played much football for Manchester United this season. He hasn't. I think he's played something like 82 minutes all in told. So this can't come as a surprise. And actually, I think there's a reason he's going. Now, there's two bits here I want to go through. The first bit is, why didn't we get rid of him in the summer? Why didn't we try and take a fee in the summer and just get rid of him and have more money for a midfielder? But secondly, and more importantly, after what happened on Sunday, I think that's shifted Amorim into a decision of, we can play different football at Manchester United without involving Joshua Zirkzee, which is kind of, I think, what is looking likely. What are you thinking, Kev?
Well, I mean, as you were talking about him there, I was just thinking about him at the end of the match. I know we talked about that on Monday. He didn't seem particularly unhappy. I know we've just won at Liverpool at Anfield and everything, but yeah, if he's not in the plan, then there's no point in keeping him, because none of us really know what his position is. I don't think, actually, and maybe Amorim doesn't know what his position is either. We were just saying before we came on the stream there, I like him. I like when he's come on. I know he's not played much and he's maybe not good enough and he's not in the starting 11, so that means he's not good enough. But when he has come on, I like. He's got some good touches. He's a big lad. He puts himself about. He's not slow, and he does put himself about. He's a bit of a pain in the arse. So if it's to sacrifice him for the sake of getting a midfield player that's a midfield player, that's their position, then yeah, okay. On he goes, and I hope he does okay wherever he goes to. I know it looks like he's going to be back to Italy or whatever, but I like Joshua Zirkzee, and I know a lot of people will. And obviously, as you said, Amorim doesn't. So it's here, neither here nor there, whether I like him or not.
It's a look. If we kept people because they were nice people and we thought they were all right, we'd have a squad full. We'd be back into the bomb squad era. But
not because he's nice, not because he's a nice guy. Of the bits that I've seen of him, I think there's something there. Is it worth hanging on to him? Because he's obviously going to improve. Still a young player as well. What did we pay for him? What did we pay for him?
35 million on it. Another own goal, really. When you think about it, he's got, I think, 6 goals for United, if that.
And again, we don't see him in training. I always say this: we don't see them in training. We don't see behind the scenes. We don't see what goes on. We don't see the discussions that are had. So, if this is all around now that he's going to, there is a high percentage that he's going to leave. So that none of that stuff doesn't come out for a reason.
No, and here's where I am with it. Here's where I am. You've got a potential here to damage the squad. You have, if you were to let Zirkzee go, you've got to think about it. In January, we'll lose Brian Mbeumo, we'll lose Ahmad, we'll lose Mazraoui. Luckily enough, Onana's not at the club, or else we'd have lost him too. But you lose 3 really, really solid players for Manchester United, plus Zirkzee if you're letting him go. I just wonder if there's a plan afoot here, and I wonder if that midfield change in January will come sooner, and we will go all out, get that midfielder in. That then will free up Bruno to be part of this front three that we've seen with Mount, Cunha, and Brian Mbeumo. I don't see Manchester United. There have been reports today, and they're not credible. They're not big ones. So I was going to put it on the thumbnail, but I thought there's no point because it's not credible enough. Until some of the big boys talk about it, I'm not going to really give it much. But they were saying Endrick on loan from Real Madrid, who again hasn't had a minute this season for Real Madrid. This weekend was told to go warmed up, realised he wasn't coming on, kicked a bottle onto the pitch. So
Okay.
There are players out there. There are some players that we could bring in on loan, and I wouldn't be opposed to bringing a excuse me, a loan player in to sort of be underneath Sesko. But I just think with the variation we spoke about on Monday, and it was a big variation in the sense of playing that front three revolving, then you've got the Sesko front three as well. I kind of feel like that was the final nail in the coffin for Zirkzee on Sunday when he didn't even get on the pitch.
I just don't know where he plays. I don't know where he plays. I suppose that's the biggest thing for me is to, why would we keep him then if I'm, I don't know where he plays. He's not a striker, is he? He's not a striker.
No.
I don't think. Can he play one of these two forward positions?
But this is right though, Kev. What you're saying is right. You wouldn't put him ahead of Sesko, and I think even Wahaha would admit that. And I'll go through the comments in a minute. Chat, don't worry. Good to see you all. We'll go through them. So you wouldn't put him ahead of Sesko, and you wouldn't put him ahead of anyone in that revolving front three either. No. You wouldn't put him ahead of Mount. You wouldn't put him ahead of Cunha. You wouldn't put him ahead of Brian. So at this point, I think he's in a worse position than Kobbie Mainoo. I really do, and I think this as well, Zirkzee going, would further cement again that Kobbie Mainoo would be going nowhere, because we would not allow a midfielder and a striker to go when we know the reality is you would push Bruno forward, giving him more game time in his favoured 10, to then let a midfielder go and leave us with Ugarte and Casemiro. So for some Manchester United fans, this is going to be bittersweet. It really is, because yes, he is a good, honest lad. He is. I've not seen anything from this lad to ever sit there and say, get him out of my club. I think he's honest in the way he trains, and I think he's honest in the way he represents himself. But I think the cherry here that we need to be looking at, the carrot that's being dangled, is that this could all be part of a plan for us to become better, for us to become stronger. And there's been no end of conversations. We've had it on this channel several times. We've had it in the live chat when we've been streaming the games, that the midfield is the weakness. Now, what I will say is this then, I think, coming into the summer transfer window, Manchester United, who were in the middle of a rebuild last season, look like they could be in the exact same place this summer. We could be in the midst of another rebuild, because Zirkzee will be gone. Casemiro, I know people are saying he could sign a contract. So Casemiro's gone. Malacia will go. I think you'll see someone. I do think there'll be a shock like a Luke Shaw that will go. I do think there's a shock in a Dalot that will go. That's 5 players straight away. Now, they're different types of players to what we saw trying to be let go this summer, because there's no real attitude problems with these lads, and they're not on the monstrous wages. Luke Shaw maybe slightly, but I think it changes the demographic of what United are doing. And I repeat, I think this shows from Sunday that Manchester United have a different direction they're heading, and Zirkzee is not a part of it.
Well, the damning thing is he didn't come on. I mean, and again, I wouldn't have brought him on either. In Sunday's game. The team was the substitutions were made with the right substitution. Sorry, I was slightly distracted there because Liverpool got ran through there completely and nearly conceded. But as I came back to the start of the conversation we were having, see if he needs to go and it's going to facilitate us bolstering the midfield, then I'm 100% behind that as a process. But if it's just because he's not playing and it's not going to affect anything, it's because he wants to go and play elsewhere, and we're not going to do something good with the money that we get. I know we're talking about loans and stuff like that with potential to buy at the end of it, but the midfield is the most important, and there's the talks ramping up about the midfield.
Yeah,
we don't, and the rebuild, in terms of the rebuild, that could take 2 years. That could take 3.
Well, Project 2028, isn't it? That's what we're saying.
That could be that we might not be the team we want to be until we'll go into this new stadium if that's going to go ahead. So yeah, I'm for him leaving if we do it properly, if it's all done properly, and we seem to be doing things a bit better these days. Just more recently, certainly in the summer anyway.
I agree. Get through some of these comments. So, I don't like to leave you all hanging. Yes, bruh. Good to see you, Nath. Hope you're well, mate. Starvan, good to see you. Howdy. Wahaha followed up his Amorim out and Zirkzee in with a good evening. Good to see you, buddy. Jamie says, evening, Dan and Kevin. Chat, hope you're all well. We are fantastic as always. It's despicable how he's been treated. I'm going to start that. I'm going to come back to that. Good luck to him. Hope he doesn't go to some scum like Juventus. I don't think he will. I think he'll go somewhere. The talk is West Ham, apparently. So we'll see.
Is it Premier League?
Yeah, there is. West Ham apparently are interested.
I've got 3 Italian clubs listed, Juventus being one of them.
Yeah. Wahaha says good luck to him. We've already gone for that one. Sorry. Chappie says hello, everyone. Good to see you, Chappie. Good to see you, Andy. Well, Steve-O, as always, a pleasure. Never, ever a chore. Ben says he doesn't really fit the system. Think you need to play 2 up top to get the best out of him. I'm going to start that as well because I agree with that. And make sure you're hitting those likes, people, and subscribe.
Yeah, we're not going to do 2 up top, are we?
No, we won't do 2 up top. And make sure you hit the bell notification as well. It lets you know when we are going live. So what Wahaha says here, and I'll come down to the rest of you guys, don't worry. He says, we lose him and we only have 1 serviceable striker, though. But he has to go. It's not going to happen for him with this manager. And so I'm going to break that down. And Kev, I don't know if you agree with me with this. This is why I think we get the midfielder in, because what you have got there, if Sesko was to get injured, yes, you've lost the serviceable striker. I get that. But you would see that revolving 3 and you would have so many players that could be a part of that. You've got Ahmad that could be a part of it. You've got Bruno that could be a part of it. You've got Cunha that could be a part of it. You've got Brian that could be a part of it. That's 4 straight away. Mount that can be a part of it. That's 5. So I don't worry about us only having 1 serviceable striker, because we've seen in games it can work. There have been so many games this season where we've come out of the traps, Fulham being one of them, absolutely blitzed them in the first half. Again, a goalkeeping error that led to the mistake there. These games at the start when we had this revolving 3, and I'm not saying it's the answer to everything, chat, so please don't get that twisted. The revolving 3 isn't the problem. I think goals are in those players that you can play there. I just feel like if this is what we need to do to get that good midfielder in, then it has to happen. There's no if, buts, and maybes. I think this is the route we have to go. Even if we're just getting one of the midfielders that we want in before the summer, so that other clubs like Chelsea, like Liverpool, like Arsenal, like City, don't go in there and try and grab these players in before we do, then I'm absolutely all for it, Kev.
No, I agree. I was just thinking about Liverpool there. Liverpool might not be as attractive sort of as this season goes on. Some players might be just going to actually. They've bought quite a lot of players because apparently they're going to steal Wharton from us. Gay still said people are still saying he's going to go there. They're even talking about Elliot Anderson. I've seen somebody talking about that with them as well there. So we're in for all the same players, which I suppose should be. What should be expected. All the top teams should be in for the top players. So at least we're looking at the right places. But the correct thing to do is to get the Premier League proven players. I'm still a little bit reluctant to get people from overseas, but I've seen him going. I wouldn't want to see him going to the Premier League. I wouldn't want to. I don't know.
Well, he can't play against us, can he?
He's not really played for us anyway. But
he can't play against us though, Kev, because it would be a loan deal. So it wouldn't be a case of he wouldn't be allowed to play. So I'm not. But
I hate seeing our players go into Premier League teams because I just hate them playing again, like Danny Welbeck.
Yeah. Well, bring back Danny Welbeck all day long. There is a striker that we have been linked with, and I'll go through the comments and then we'll talk about him. He'd do a better job than Dorgu, though, says, well, haha, you love Dorgu. I'm not his biggest fan at the moment. Moxie says, evening, everyone. I don't think it's despicable at Wahaha. He just isn't right for Man United and we have no clue what his position is. Good luck to the lad. Nothing against him. We need better. And that's true. No Manchester United fan. As I said, we've seen a lot of players leave this summer where we've gone, thank God, good riddance. And a lot of Manchester United fans would be happy for him, and I think they'd wish him all the best, wouldn't they?
They would, but in terms of a serviceable striker, we have got the young boy. I know he's not been in the squad or anything, but
scored last night.
A beast of a lad, and he has played for us. It's not like he's never played in the first team, or he's played in the Premier League, hasn't he? For us,
yeah, he scored last night for the under-21s against Barnsley in the Checkatrade. Is it Checkatrade Trophy or whatever it is?
It's still very raw, but you see if we're going, oh well, Sesko's not fit to play, and we're going to do this rotational front 3 with the boys we've talked about, and we need somebody impacting people getting tired through a match, then he can definitely come into the squad. He is the future. He's the kid. The kids are the future. Hello, Bo. Hello, Bo. You know, so he is there. He is there as well. I know he's a bit in the background at the moment, but
yeah,
my head's still on him. I still wonder why he's not getting into the first team. But again, we don't know what goes on in the background, so we don't know why he's not pushing through into the first team at the moment. I've heard why Leon isn't. I've heard why Diego Leon isn't. It's because he's not been playing well in the under-21s, is what I've heard.
He played last night again, Leon. I mean, United were doing well against Barnsley because it was the Barnsley first team, and they were doing well. And then they had a red card. I think Jack Fletcher got sent off, but Chido-Obi scored in that game, and it was. I think that's good for him. I want to see these youngsters playing against teams like Barnsley, who are going to kick lumps out of you, are going to let you know what it's like to play football with men. So. I think Chido-Obi's doing the right thing. I think they're doing the right thing with him. They know he's young, as you said. He's very raw and he's got ability. He has.
He's such a big lad. He's such a big lad as well. Well, you know, Ahmad did the world of good for Ahmad going away to not necessarily Rangers, because I don't think the Rangers, the Scottish leagues are completely different to the English Premier League. But when he went down a league and played for Sunderland, that made him tougher when he came back. You could instantly see the difference in him when he came back. So maybe some of the younger players need to go and do that. It's clearly a way of getting them tougher and getting them ready for the 100%. Premier League and playing against men. I hear ex-pros say this a lot. You know, you're playing against men, and it is a tough league. If you go back on what Delic was saying, you know how hard the league was. So. In terms of serviceable people up front, I would really like to see him as an option as well.
I agree. Rob Taft, good to see you, mate. I haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're well. He says, I think we'd be mad to let players go in January. We're losing 3 players to AFCON. AFCON finishes the middle of January, I think. Yeah, so we lose them. We lose them over the Christmas period. Still losing them for games. But I do and I don't. I think the way we've got to look at this, Rob Taff, is if we are willing to let Zirkzee go, I think there's a plan in place for us to be bringing a couple in January. I genuinely do. And look, I know we're still riding a wave of pure, emotion with Sunday. And, I get that. But what I will say is Manchester United transfer-wise, yes, we wanted more in the summer. Could they have done it all? Maybe not. But they've kind of made good on what they've said they're looking out there and going to get so far with Vivell, with Wilcox, with Barada. And, this is the beautiful game of football. We can go from some weeks calling them out and saying what they're doing is ridiculous. And other weeks like now, we're saying, well, they've actually said what they're going to do and they do it. So we will see on that. Ben says, can we keep Zirkzee as a backup keeper and sell Binder instead? Do you remember the story in the 2016 World Cup when North Korea played in the World Cup and they tried to be sneaky and they registered another striker as a goalkeeper so they could take more strikers, and FIFA imposed it on him that because they registered him as a goalkeeper, he could only play as a goalkeeper. So this poor lad went to South Africa and had to be a third choice goalkeeper. It always makes me laugh. Chappie says Amorim pulls no punches. If he doesn't think you're good enough, you're out. And I respect it. I do. I absolutely do. Wahaha still says many times false 9. I don't think I'll die on this false hit at the 9 hill. Good to see you, Farn. Hope you are well. Andy says, would you both let Bruno go in the summer? Kev, I'll let you take that one first.
Yeah. No. I don't. I was just immediately thinking of loads of other questions. It depends what sort of money we're going to get for him.
If it's anything over 80 million, mate, well, it's got to, hasn't it?
If it's 80 million plus, then yeah, it just helps the club. It just helps the club move forward. It just helps the club move forward. So I think probably yeah. I said that about Harry Maguire. I said that about Harry Maguire. That was, that should be. Then we're saying he should get another contract, and loads of people are saying he should get another contract as well. So
that was Bruno's first assist, by the way, on Sunday of the season. First.
Yeah, well, he's not playing where he normally plays, is he?
No.
I keep hearing people saying he's not a midfielder. What is he then?
He's a cam, and he's a cam. He's a central attacker.
He's got midfielder in it. So I mean, I just think just fundamentally, of course, he's a midfielder. He's a central attacking midfielder.
He's not an 8, though, Kev. He's not an 8, is he?
He's not a deep line midfielder. Yeah, he's not. But he can play in the midfield. That was winding me up a little bit. I've heard multiple different people saying Bruno's not a midfielder again. Well, he's not a striker, so he might be an attacking midfielder. But
I bet he'd love to play there. I bet he'd love to be a striker. I would let him go. I think, look, we let him have this season. He's going to finish it with the World Cup as well. Let him go. Get the money in, sail off into the sunset. That's another big wage as well, by the way, off our plans there. And I think if we sell him for 80 million, say, I know it was 100 million in the summer. If we end up having a decent season, that could help us because it could push the value up a bit again and keep it there. But if you're saying to me, as not you, Kev, I mean, if you're saying to me hypothetically, right, there's Bruno out the door, we're bringing Baleba in the other, then it's a done deal for me because Baleba's younger. He's got a high ceiling. He is exactly what we need in that formation, and I think it goes with the ethos of us regenerating this team. This team's been so bad for so long and we've had so many issues. And Bruno, to be fair to him, has done his absolute best to try and keep us ticking along. But I think the time would be right for me. And yes, I saw we were looking at signing Manu Kone in January as well, Rob Taff. It'd be a decent signing that would be, by the way. Well, Haha says, I'm a fan of his, but I won't pretend it's working out for him at United, or that he did a good striker's job when he got the chance, but the whole team looked much better when he played usually. Yeah, look, there is absolutely, and this comment is right, Wahaha. He was a scapegoat in that game because I remember we started that game against Newcastle with Christian Eriksen and Casemiro in the midfield too, and it just got absolutely battered. Gregory says, off topic, is the PM Keir Starmer being removed from the office? Forgive me, but as an American, facts are unclear. I haven't seen that he is. I think he'll be there for a little bit. I think it may be a re-election, a re-election, or whatever they say with that.
No attention to politics at all. not even a tiny bit.
There's only one bit of politics I listen to, and that's with Mrs. Robinson. Obi is nowhere near Zirkzee. We know that, Wahaha, but he's definitely got a higher ceiling, I think. And if Zirkzee can't get minutes, how do you expect Obi to get them?
He's nowhere near. I think that. Well, I don't know whether he's nowhere near. I don't agree with that.
This as well. This comment here. There's a different expectation from both players here, Zirkzee. Obi knows he's not getting minutes. Well, of course he wants them, but he's not going to be a player banging on the door saying, why am I not playing? Why am I not being brought on? Obi is a different age.
Millions and millions of pounds.
No, of course not. He's a different age. He is someone developing. He knows
the journey through the club different. Yeah, he's got a different journey through the club. Zirkzee was bought in to hit the ground running, essentially, and he hasn't. Yeah.
No, he absolutely hasn't. Jamie says, I think we have got a big transfer next season with Rasmus. I was going to say Rasmus. Why we do it? Rashford, Rasmus, Sancho, Anthony, and Onana, and anyone else we can sell. Could be a big midfield overhaul and defence. Well, as I've said before, Onana will have you believe that he's coming back to compete next season. I don't see how that happens. I don't see how that happens at all. Wahaha talking about Bruno there. Gregory says, will United acquire a midfielder in January? Can United acquire a midfielder with a loan instead of overpaying for one of the midfields, as we keep hearing about Anderson, Baleba, Wharton, etc.? The problems with that, Gregory, is simple. If we want to loan a midfielder, that midfielder will be Conor Gallagher, and we can have him nowhere near this Manchester United team. What I do want to do, before I finish the comments, I am going to start a poll. Is letting Zirkzee go a mistake? So that's in there for you now. Now, I saw a story today, Kev, and again, maybe it's one you can take with a pinch of salt. Maybe it's something you can get excited about, but it's a question I want to know. Would you take this person for a season?
Who?
So Lewandowski from Barcelona will be leaving at the end of the season. He's 35. Would you take Lewandowski on a 1-year contract at Manchester United, or do you think it is completely against what we're trying to do here? He's at the end of his career.
No, I wouldn't take him.
Would you not?
No, that seems like a pointless thing to do. That. What's the point in taking somebody for a year? He's going to come for a little go in the Premier League for a year. What's the point in that?
I get Cavani vibes with this one. I'll be honest with you. I genuinely do.
Yeah, he's a great player. Of course, he's a great player. But no, not 35. Why would? What is he going? He's not going to start, is he?
This is the thing. If he doesn't come on a big wage,
bench.
But this is the thing, though, mate. It doesn't come in on a big wage. We've already seen the stories of when these players in the twilight of their career come in And it's not about also, always what they do on the pitch. It's what they do off the pitch with the players around them. Rooney and Ronaldo learnt from Henrik Larsson. He was only here for, a month and a half, and he was at the twilight. Yeah. Cavani had a massive impact on a lot of the young players
as well, didn't he?
So I don't know. It's a question out there in chat. I want to get your...
Maybe not for me. It's a no for me.
Liverpool are losing. Frimpong's already gone off injured.
Are you actually serious?
No, I'm serious. They've just conceded 25 minutes gone.
That is absolutely class.
I've lifted my head up a few times. It doesn't look like they're playing well. I saw Frimpong on the ground. He's gone off. Wirtz loses the ball, basically.
5 in 5. 5 in 5.
And they just
five. Oh, I love it. 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 Let's go through some more of these comments. That's fucking brilliant. That is.
Is that Andy Robertson that's playing?
Where were we? Take the money for Bruno and let Casemiro and Harry go. Rob Taff, I'm not letting Harry go. I'm not letting Harry go. I won't let Harry go anywhere. No chance. Tim Fox says, cheers, Dan. Sorry I'm late. Congrats on your recent win. Thanks, Tim. Hope you're well, buddy. Good to see you, as always. I'm done saying we should keep Zirkzee. It's not going to happen. The welcome message was a joke. We know that, Wahaha. We know your family here, mate. We absolutely know it's a joke.
I mean, I said to you at the start, I would prefer to keep him, but he's not. He doesn't want to sit on the bench, does he? I think he's done some decent impact substitutions when we need to hold. He holds the ball up fairly well. So I mean, if it's all right, if everything around him departing is correct, then it's the right thing to do. But like we've got rid of Rasmus, and I thought he should still be at the club as well. And he wasn't going to start either, and he needed to get better. But it's the same with Zirkzee. We bought these players on the basis that they were good players, but because they've had because they've not hit the ground running, then we're already trying to get rid of them. So I am a little bit torn on Zirkzee, and I know we laugh about like, well, how Bajidar say no, they loves him. I don't think he's been treated badly at United. He's just obviously not pushed enough to get a first. I mean, he was starting to begin with, wasn't he? Did he not start some games when he first came?
Zirkzee played a bit towards the end of last season as well, and this is what I got angry about. So many fans were like, "Oh, he's mint. Look at his skills," and I'm like, "Yeah, but look at his goal return. It's piss."
Did he get injured? Was he not injured?
Yeah, he got injured early on, didn't he? He got injured and then he missed, and then he come back for the Europa League final. He made an appearance, didn't he?
I don't think of us writing off players too soon that have been pegged, not just by Man United, but by other clubs. We're looking at these players and going, these are potential star players in the future. I'd just hate for us to just discard them too soon. And I hate stuff coming back to like kick us in the ass, like Elanga. Like we just gave up too soon with him, and he's away playing really well, looking like he can beat anyone on a wing at the moment. And that's starting to annoy me as well now. Same as, even far back when all these other players left, why are you letting these players go when they've gone off and they're doing so well? Not necessarily Rashford, by the way.
We had a summer madness, didn't we? We let like Evans go, we let Welbeck go, we let Chicharito go. But here's the thing, though, and as Rob Taff has said here quite rightly, Barcelona, I don't know how Barcelona run, by the way, because what they do is criminal. I mean, we talk about United being in debt, but Barcelona, they I just don't get it. Barcelona's unpaid for other players. They could be in trouble, which would hinder them buying Rashford. I think that's why they want to get Rashford in January, if I'm honest. I think they want that done and out the way, and then they'll deal with the registration afterwards. Wahaha says no to Lewandowski. Jamie says yes. He would teach Sesko so much. Then Wahaha comes back with Sesko's better right now for the job we need him for. Rob Taff says Lewandowski.
Wouldn't he, Dan? He would want to start in the team. He would want to be. He's not going to come and sit on the bench and come on for 10 minutes, 20 minutes to the end of games or play.
It's also what he brings to the formation.
Yeah, I'll get that.
And I don't think. I agree. I agree, and it's like
He's not going to come. They're not going to go to him. Going to come to our club so you can teach the young lads out.
No, but I don't think he's right for the formation either, though. I don't think he'd be right for the formation because Sesko. What works well with Sesko is he wins the ball, but then he's spun and he's gone. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas Lewandowski is a phenomenal striker.
These other older players that came, they started in the team. They were the starters, and the strikers that were coming through were coming on as the bench players, and they were watching 70, 80 minutes of Cavani, of Ibrahimovic, of all these other great strikers, and watching how they did it. And then in training, you've got that. But it would be the flip side because if we've got Sesko, why are we going to put him on the bench so that Lewandowski can play?
I'm an old football romantic. I just love the idea of these like I was going to say expos. These players like Lewandowski. I just love to see them in the shirt. But I agree, it's probably 6 years too late. I get it. I hear it. I do hear it. Tim says, "Dan, we are not well. We got Dyche now."
I've got Dyche now.
Hey, Harry's in the house. Harry is in the house.
Big Harry.
Looking as happy.
Harry. Knock one in, son. Knock one in, son.
Sir Harold has the keys to the city, they're saying here, mate. With Zirkzee, depends on the manager staying or going. Amorim on the right track, but too early to say right now. New manager could use him. So many ifs and buts. And also, let's be honest, I genuinely don't know what this team is going to look like next season, Kev. Like, yes, we're only 9 games, I think 8 or 9 games into the Premier League, but we already know we know what direction United are going with the signings they're going to make. This team could look completely different next season. Like, we could be starting the first game of next season going, 2 years ago, we could list 15 players and they've all gone.
Yeah.
So I just wonder if Zirkzee has the keys to the castle. Maybe, yeah, exactly. I wonder if Zirkzee, is the first domino to. We were waiting for the first domino to fall in the summer transfer window with players leaving. I wonder if Zirkzee could be the first domino of us going to that next stage of players we bring in. And as Steve says, again, I'll put it back up, there are so many ifs and buts at the moment. And we are talking with a bit of chest because we have had a really good result, but it's just mad, isn't it? Absolutely mad. And on the topic of Harry, are you ready to play him as a striker now, or do you still think I'm being silly, says Tim? Well, there we go. We've got another recognised striker. We can let Zirkzee go. That's no problem. We've got it sorted. The vote, by the way, just to quickly let you know, 64% of you think that it is not a mistake to let Zirkzee go, so I'll end the poll there. Always good to get a feeling for what the chat's thinking there. And what else have we got here? Good evening, Anthony. Good to see you, mate. No problem for being late, mate. We waited for you. And he says, Zirkzee's a nice lad. I love that. Zirkzee's a nice lad, but he's a 10. We currently have 4 at least better plus youth, and I do agree. Plus Lua making those. Hey, in years to come, I'll be looking back at these videos going, so I can't say anything, and I definitely can't say anything. And Kev, you're getting love for your hoodie, mate, by the way, as well.
Oh, is that what you mean? This one? All right. Okay, yeah. I've got 2.
Very nice hoodie. Very, very nice hoodie. Andy comes in with the question. If you've got questions, guys, do what Andy's put in. Well, he didn't do it on this one, but he normally does. Put a Q before and we'll go through it. So Andy says, do you think Leach at left centre-back and push Shaw forward? We've said this, haven't we? We've said this.
I hope happens.
Because Dorgu isn't the answer. Dorgu is not the answer yet. And I want to say yet. I don't want to kill this kid's career. We don't. There has been signs, hasn't there? There have been signs of promise where you look and you go, he looks all right today. He looks okay. He's pushing forward. He's doing his job.
He worked hard in the summer, Dan, because he came back and he was 4 sizes bigger than he was at the end of last season. So he's clearly worked hard on his size. Same as Yoro, he came back 2 sizes bigger than he was.
Oh, Yoro! Honestly, I love.
So
it's weird thing
working hard.
It's a weird thing to say on stream, but I love that boy. I genuinely do. I love him. Like Lenny Yoro is going to be. He's going to be so good. With Shaw, I think if Shaw's on borrowed time at Manchester United, I think we can both agree on that, Kev, can't we? I feel like this is probably his last time.
To the end of his career, isn't he? That's just the way it is. That's his football time. What is he? 30 something? He must be in his 30s.
He's 30 now. I think he's 30. But what I mean by that is, I think if we're going to use him as left wing back, we utilize it this season. We know that they're probably going to look for a wing back in the summer again. They'll probably go out there and look. So utilize him now when we know that with Dorgu's age, inconsistencies will still be going. We'll still see a lot of inconsistencies in his game because he's 20. You know, we talk about Dorgu like he's been here years. He's not even been here a year yet. And he got chucked in 1-1, by the way, I think. He got chucked in the deep end in a team that were absolutely abysmal. So he's always going to be learning. I won't write the lad off just yet, but I think Luke Shaw when Leach is back, and also I want Leach to be treated the right way. I want him to be eased back. They're saying now that he won't be part of the squad for Brighton, which I'm actually I'm at peace with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Bring him back for Forest, get him involved, get him some minutes, absolutely fine. But for now, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Kev. When's the international break? The international break's soon. I'm pretty sure it is.
Listen, I think it's 3 or 4 matches, and then we're straight back to another international break.
Let's have a look.
It'd be really, it'd be really nice if we get back to, the team being so stable and not being pushed in every match and being up in matches, up enough or up with enough security and confidence. We can actually start bringing some of the young players on for 10, 15 minutes and start getting them used to playing in the Premier League and playing with the other lads. They're in the training, but we're pushing right to the end of games, and we can't afford to bring them on. Almost, we can't afford to any blame be put on them. Oh, you're bringing that 17-year-old on, and look, he's been completely pushed out of the game. Bring them on when they can just be a bit free, because we're 3-0 up, we're 2-0 up. Like Sunderland. I know we were still pushing all the way and put Sunderland, but when the team's a bit more confident, hopefully with some more wins starting against Brighton. I was thinking about this last night. It'd be nice to just see some of the young players coming on without any pressure on them to have to perform straight away, but just
back in the day we used to do it. We used to do it, didn't we? There was you think about it, late noughties. You had the likes of Welbeck coming on. You had the likes of Lingard getting chances. You had Rashford. That was what happened with him.
Darren Fletcher as well.
Darren
they're coming through into the team.
Here's what I want to see though with Leacher, right? I'm looking at the fixtures before the international break. I was going to say let's wait until after the international break. That gives him a month from now. But I'm kind of the opinion, Brighton, no chance. Keep him away from Brighton. Forest, get him in the squad. If he gets minutes at the end, he gets minutes at the end. With then a focus of getting him ready for Tottenham away on the 8th of November, which is a 12:30 kickoff.
Okay.
I think you bring him in for the Tottenham game. That'll be his first start, and he will obviously still have. They do have ring rust with that, of course they do. But straight after that, it's an international break. So if there's any niggles or anything, he can recover.
Which is ridiculous, by the way. Another international.
I know. Last one, though, mate. Last one now until the World Cup, isn't it? Or is there one in March?
No, there's another one. There is another one as well.
We'll see. We'll see.
It's a few more. I think it's a couple of months or something, or 3 months or something. But there is another one. Yeah. Somebody mentioned the Wayne Rooney thing, the BBC Wayne Rooney. So I did watch that back, and I think he was on there. I heard that there is another one coming up really soon, and then there's another one after that, I think.
Yeah. I do like watching them. They are good. They're very, very good. The Glazers would bring in Lewandowski just to sell jerseys. Well, I mean, it's all about money with them, isn't it? Shaw can't run down. See, I don't understand this analogy, because I saw Shaw on Sunday at Anfield, up and down, up and down, up and down. I don't think he's.
Of course he can.
Sorry?
I think he can. Of course, I think he's more than capable of running up and down.
Yeah, I do too. I'm not ready to let go of him just yet.
If you can't, we'll find out, because that is what will happen. I mean, I don't know why it's not like, is this? Do you think it's a bit? As soon as Martinez is fit to play and start, and Shaw remains fit, Liverpool have scored another one, then that will be the team. Shaw will be out there, because Shaw won't go out the team. Shaw will stay in the team. He's not going to Dorgu's not going to displace Shaw from the team, even if it means Shaw going out to that right-sided left or the left wing back position.
Yeah,
that will be the defence. The variation of Maguire, Yoro, Martinez, and De Ligt. So Shaw will play because he's playing well. Shaw's playing well.
Yeah.
No, it's not he's not having to run. He still has to run in that position in the defence.
He had a lot of running on Sunday. A lot of. I don't think he'd break down, and the reason I don't think he'd break down is it's World Cup season. That guy's going to be super fit all the way through.
It's to be seen. That's to be seen. You see, if he does, then we'll go, you were right. Posidar, you were right. Actually, you can't run up and down the wing, and it's time to put Dorgu in, and Shaw can be the bench player. But for me, that would be the absolute 100% the way it should be. And Mazraoui on the other side when he's fully fit.
He's back, by the way. He's back this week.
That's the defence. We want the team to pick itself. That's what we want. We want the team to be picking itself, and that's all the top teams. There's no question marks over should we play here, what should we do here, the team picks itself. At least 8 or 9 of the team.
The top teams, Kev, with that I agree, because they do pick themselves, and if there is an injury, you know exactly who's coming in there.
Yeah.
Whereas with United for the last 2 years, it's just been all over the place, and it's been all over. Dan, do you think there will be a time where we stop talking about new players? Will it eventually come? It seems like years. Well, Manchester United absolutely want to get back to that situation they were under Sir Alex Ferguson, where we knew every year it was maybe 2 transfers, 2 or 3. It was normally 2 transfers, and you got a couple of youngsters or unknowns that come in and they were grounded in. So it could happen. It won't happen anytime soon, though, mate. I think another at least 3 transfer windows before we start to see a settled side. I'd rather keep Shaw than Delo. He's one of the best when fit. Agree with that. Shaw seems fit and well. Someone might.
I mean, how many years is Shaw? But did he not come when he was like 23 or 20? It wasn't even
18.
That when he came. Yeah, he's been at United for years and years. Talking about Lewandowski coming in to give some experience and tell. Yeah, I mean, we've got a few players that have been at the club for a long time. And by the way, remember Harry Maguire's there as well. He's been there for 7 years. Started as our captain. The first 2 seasons, we finished third and second, or second and third. And he was the captain. So all this stuff's easily forget. He's never done a bad thing for us. He's never played badly for us. Yeah, he's made some mistakes, but what player doesn't make mistakes in a game?
There was a time where Luke Shaw was, I think, probably one of the best left backs in
Europe.
That's why I mean a couple of years ago, sort of 3 years ago.
And he continued. He was in the England team the same as he was. And we bought him from Southampton because he was the best left back around at that time, and he had the massive potential. That injury scuppered him for ages. That really bad injury that he got scuppered. It was a leg break, wasn't it?
It was against Feyenoord. Was it Feyenoord? No, PSV, I think it was.
And that's that. And this is why we need to be careful with Martinez, because we still don't know how he's going to come back. And
this is why I'm talking about. He's got to be inched back into there, nice and steady.
Yeah, but what I mean on top of that as well, Dan, is that 2-2. Is we don't actually know whether he'll ever get back to what he was before, is what I'm saying. Some players never get back to that, what they were before. Sometimes they can't reach it again. That it's either mentally or their body's just something's changed within their body, which means that they never reach that same level again. They're not physically able to do it. That is still to be seen for me, and that's always been the way for me in my head. When a player comes back from such a long injury, is even going to be the player that he was before he went away, which was he has to be in the team before he went off, before he was injured. He has to play. Yeah. For so many reasons he had to play, not just because he was a good player.
I think it's a case of they need to assess, don't they? They need to assess where he is, and I think I've said it several times with Lucha. I think he's captain material. I love him. I adore him. But there is that worry. Does a player come back as well as they did before? Anthony's got a great comment here. It says, be grateful for a swan song season from Shaw, Dalo, Harry, Bruno, Cassie at the end of the season. They'll be and look, you could say from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, I would probably put my name on it. That I think 3 of those 5 are absolutely sure to leave at the end of the season. No pun intended.
I think so. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting either way. But guys, I think we've gone through that pretty well tonight. I think we've got plenty now that we can essentially get ourselves ready for. The holiday season is slowly but surely. Well, I say slowly. It's ramping up really quickly. We're in November soon, and we will be then looking at. Manchester United will absolutely be doing their business now, I think, Kev. They'll be doing their work behind the scenes with regards to who they want to let go, what they want to bring in. And I think get to the middle of November, end of November, that is when you'll start to see the big boys like the Ben Jacobs, like the Fabrizios, like the Athletic and who else? Ornsteins. All of these will start ramping up their work because that's when it gets busy for them, and they will uncover stories.
Well, there was another thread. Liverpool have scored again. That's Canata. And there was another player mentioned on another channel today as well. Semenyo.
No chance. He'll go Liverpool, mate. I genuinely.
Do you think 75 million? I'm like 75. Where we get 75 million from?
I agree with you. I can't see it. I can't see it. And I think he's. It wouldn't surprise me if that's already done with Liverpool. By the way, it really wouldn't surprise me. And Liverpool seem to have a good relationship with Bournemouth after the Kirkes deal. I think he goes there. And do you know what? Fair play to him, because he's a lad that's worked really hard to get to where he is. Don't really want to play against him with him being at Liverpool, but I think Liverpool fans are starting to really consider now that that Salah is coming to the end. I think it's shown this season. I think, as we all know, time catches up with everyone. No man runs away from time, apart from Cristiano Ronaldo.
Anyway.
Sorry, no, he's on the bench, isn't he? And that's telling as well. I think they'll be doing the Semenyo one, but football's a crazy thing.
I've just thought, where the hell's that come from? Where's that come from? We're talking about midfielders, and now we're talking about more extra sort of forward-thinking players.
Jamie, this can't happen, bro. I love you. You know that. I love you, and opinion, of course, I take it on board. But Martinez played 4 times in his whole time at Ajax in that CDM role. 4. It's because he's known he can play there. I don't think he would fit in the midfield at all.
I think when we say you can play there, Martins. We need to the last 10 minutes. We need you to go and play in centre defensive midfield. Can you do that for us? Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I agree.
It's also versus is better as a centre back than he is.
Of course he is. Of course he is. He absolutely. Sorry, 2 seconds. Who's that? Sorry. Oh.
It's me.
That's fine. No, it's all right. My phone. Oh, yeah. Father Time is undefeated apart from Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, that's it, guys. It's obviously Champions League night tonight. We'll let you go and enjoy. Well, I say go and enjoy their loot. They're winning now, but thank you very much for stopping by. I am at a conference in Manchester tomorrow I'm in a conference.
Sign some new players?
No, well, signing new insurers, mate. Signing new insurers. So we will be back on Friday with you, beautiful people. But you make sure you take care of yourselves. Have a good rest of your week. Friday for the preview for Brighton. We will catch you then. Take care of yourselves. Kev, just let them know where they can find you. Asleep on a sofa.
Sleep in, yeah. Kev77, doing very well. We're pushing through. Music reactions. If you like your music, come and join the journey with me, Kev77. If you like cars and racing, in real life cars as well, and Gran Turismo 7, SDW77 is my other channel. So come join if you want. If you're not, then don't worry. It's all right. No pressure.
No pressure.
Fine.
That's it then, guys. Take care of yourselves. Dan United, Kev United, Man United, blah, 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 blah. Ota!